Imagine this scenario. You are creating the most magnificent workflow ever, and you are adding all new types of statuses. But then you make a mistake. You get rid of the status, but every time you go to add a new status, that status that was a mistake is always showing up. Have you ever wondered how to remove it? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do exactly just that. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Drop a like if you get value out of this video. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comment section below. And most importantly, if you really do want to help support the channel, make sure you smash that like button and share this video with your coworkers, your peers, your bosses, your Jira admins, anyone who you know that can benefit from having access to over 350 different Atlassian related videos. Share this channel with them so that this channel can grow. All right, let's jump into Jira. All right, so let me set the stage here. We're going to go into a workflow and we're going to be adding a couple of statuses. But one of those statuses is a mistake and now I want to get rid of it. So let me show you what that looks like. So inside of my workflow editor, I'm just going to come over here and I'm just going to add a status of review. But because I don't know my English very well, and I don't know that it's I before E except after C, I accidentally misspelled review. And even though it's telling me that it's squiggly line because it's misspelled, I still hit enter. And I commit to this. I click the add button, I say that it's in progress, and I hit create, and now I've created this review status that is completely misspelled. Now I could just remove this status from my workflow, and that's really easy to do at the very beginning. Remove status. You click remove. And now you think, yay, now I'm done. But here's the problem that I'm trying to highlight in this video. If you come over here to add another status and you start with review, you'll notice that your review that is misspelled is still there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. How to get rid of that mistake so that it doesn't show up. Because the reason this is so important, because you may know that you misspelled it and then you're not going to use it, but other people, there may be other administrators in your organization that might see this status and go, ooh, I'm going to use it, and they don't realize that it's misspelled. Or, to make things even more complicated, they see two review statuses and they're like, well, which one do I use? And sometimes common sense, doesn't go a very long way. So let's just make communication a whole lot easier, and we are going to remove this review status so it doesn't show up. So let me show you what that looks like. And as a full disclosure, you do need to be a site level administrator so that you can do this here. So the first thing is we're going to come on over to our gear. We're going to go to issues because we want to be outside of the workflow. On the left-hand side, we're going to scroll our way down to statuses. Now, this is a very tricky thing to do because there's an order of operations to do it. Because of the way I'm setting up this example, it's probably going to be the easiest way to do it, but I'm going to just articulate the complexities using a different example. So let's go find my review status that I misspelled. Notice that it's not this one because this is spelled correctly, and we want to get rid of the one that is misspelled. So I'm just going to look through here and see if I can find it. And it's down here at the bottom. And as you can see, here's my review status that is not spelled correctly. Now, one thing that I want to highlight, one thing that is very, very important here. This review status is going to be easy to delete because it's not being used anywhere. And let me show you what that looks like. But first, let me move it up a little bit because it's kind of hard to see all the way at the bottom. So I'm just going to move this up just ever so slightly so that you can still see it in the screen. So give me a second as I move it up. And all I'm doing is clicking this arrow here so that I can move it up just high enough so that I can still see my face, but not be able to be blocked, or maybe it's just kind of small to see. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more here too as well. All right, so here we are. I think we're high enough where now you can see my face and you can see the options as well. Almost. There we go. Pretty much. Let me just one more just for good luck. So let's talk about the order of operations. So this is very, very important. First, in order to remove a status, that status cannot be associated to any workflow. And this doesn't matter if it's an active workflow or an inactive workflow. It literally cannot be used anywhere. So as the first path that I'm going to show you, it's going to be if it's already cleaned up. Then I'm going to show you how to delete a status that is used in a workflow and all the steps and hoops that you have to go through in order to do that. All right, so here we are. We are going to take this in review status that is misspelled, and as long as it says no associated workflows, as you see here, you'll be able to have the option to delete. So once you've gone through all the hoops, then you'll be able to delete, and all you gotta do is click this delete button, hit this delete button here, and that's it. The status is now completely gone. So if you go back to your workflow editor and you type in review, that misspelled review will not be there. Now that's the easy path. That is assuming that everything that you just did a very quick error. You remove that status from the workflow immediately. You didn't do any connections or anything, and you caught your mistake right away. But that's best case scenario. Let's talk about worst case. Let's talk about maybe that status has been in play for a while. Maybe a lot of teams have been using it. It's been distributed to many workflows, and now we want to clean up. Now we want to remove it. Well, removing that status is not that simple, because if you look back here, I'm going to remove Brandon's status here. And shout out to Brandon if you're watching this video. This one's dedicated for you. And so in order to remove Brandon's status here, you're going to see that I don't have the edit button on the right hand side. This edit button is completely missing here. And so the reason that is because you'll notice that in this section here for Brandon's status, it's associated to one workflow. And this is going to be harder the more workflows that this status is associated to. So I'm going to show you how to fix it for one, but it's exact same steps. If you have 20 workflows, 50 workflows, you're just going to have to do it over and over and over and over. So let me just show you how to do it once, and then you'll have to repeat and repeat and repeat until you finally disassociate that status with any other workflow. So disassociating the status from a workflow is not that tricky. It's just very time consuming. So the first thing you need to do is you got to click on this associated workflow, because this will tell you which workflow it's in. Next, you click into it. So this is easy, right? It'll give you a list of the workflows that it's associated to, and you just got to go one by one. In this particular case, we're just going to do it with the only one that's there. Now we run into our very first problem. You'll notice that this is an active workflow. And what does that mean? Well, that means that if I'm in this status, and let me go into edit mode, that means that if I go into this workflow while in edit mode, and I select Brandon status, and let's just remove any transitions that go to it, so we can remove these transitions. And now it's kind of an orphan status. There's nothing associated to it. I just can't remove the status, because statuses cannot be removed from an active workflow. Duh. So now comes the set of steps that we got to do. Because we are in an active workflow, we need to make the workflow inactive. So how do we do that? Well, the easiest thing is to remember this name of this workflow, click copy, come back to workflows here on the left. That way you're back on the global page. We're going to look for our active workflow. I'm going to hit enter. Then I'm going to make a copy. Once I make a copy of it, I'm just going to leave a copy of bugs. It doesn't really matter at this point. But once I made a copy, now we're in an inactive. Notice this, we're inactive. Now I can do what I just did, which was remove. Well, you don't have to remove the transitions. I just like to clean it up, because just so that you're cognitively aware of what's going on. But once I got it in an orphan state, now I can remove my status. And you would think that we're done, but we're not. We're just getting started at this point. So now that we've removed the status from the inactive workflow, now comes the tricky part. We got to go back to the project that is using the active workflow and swap these workflows out. So now I'm going to have to go find out where in the world is this non-inactive version being used. So I know that it's in Jam 22, so I'm just going to look up my Jam 22 project. Doesn't exist. Let's just look up Jam. Here it is. We're going to go into this project. We're going to go to the project settings. We're going to go over to workflows. And here you'll notice that we have a bug software simplified workflow for Project Jam 2. Now you would be tempted to swap this one out, but this adds another layer of complexity, because we are in a shared workflow scheme that multiple projects are using. So we simply cannot just drop in a new workflow here, because it's not possible. As you can see, that doesn't let me click. So now we got to go to the workflow scheme. Inside of that scheme, now we can see that we have our workflow that we want to get rid of, and we're just going to add a new workflow, add existing. We're going to go look for our copy of this one, which is the correct one. Once it loads, you'll confirm that Brandon's status is in here. I'll click next. I'm going to apply it only to my bugs. Click finish. And once you do that, you'll see that that old one is gone. And now we have this bugs one that's a copy of, which is good. This is what we want. We'll hit publish. And the only thing you got to do here is, if an issue had that status that you're now yanking the floor from, you got to tell it, well, what do you want me to be now? But in this particular case, there's 0 bugs, so it doesn't matter. This number, if there's a number here, then you do need to do your mapping, but we're not going to worry about that now. So I'm just going to hit associate, leave the default because there's nothing to actually do. And so there's a lot of hoops that we're going through here, and which is why I decided to make the video, because it's not the most intuitive thing in the world. It does take some finessing and pretty good knowledge of Jira, but assuming you can get through those hoops, it'll work. Or, you can call me and I'll come and do it for you for a pretty penny. So once we have the workflow associated, we're good to go. Now we can go back to the gear. Now we can go back to issues. And we would be foolish to think that we can now go to statuses. Because if we go back to statuses and we try to look at Brandon's status here, we find ourselves in a bigger pickle. Instead of having it associated to only 1, now we're associated to 2. And this is a bigger problem. So let's click on what's going on here. And you'll notice that we got it like this. And so this is not good. But fortunately for us, now we can click on that original workflow. I love to be in diagram mode, so I'm going to go to that one. And you'll notice that this time it's inactive. So this is really, really good. But now I can come in here and I can remove the status because it's no longer an active workflow. So that's really, really good, right? And so now I can come back to my statuses over here and go check and see where we're at. So it still says we're associated to 1 workflow. So I'll click on this one and we're going to go find out why it's in this other one here. Now, this is just, for some reason, it made 2, right? But now we can delete it from this one as well because they're both inactive. So as long as the workflows are inactive, you're going to be able to remove these statuses. So that's ultimately what you want to get to. But once they're inactive there, now we can go to statuses. And now we can scroll down to Brandon's status. And you'll notice now that we finally have the no associated workflows. And, surprise, we now have that delete button. So now we click that delete button. And sorry, Brandon, we loved your status, but it's gone now. And it's no longer there. So now if we ever go back to the workflow and we try to add this Brandon status to whatever workflow we want, and I type in Brandon under add status, you'll notice that nothing pops up. And that's it. So basically it's a lot of steps, a lot of hoops you have to go through, a lot of coordination. You got to write a lot of stuff down so you don't get lost, because you got to take those active workflows, make them inactive, then you got to go delete them, and then you got to go swap them out, and then you got to go back and delete it from the now inactive, which was the previous active. It's just a lot. And so I caution you, be careful. Be very, very careful when doing this because there's a lot. And if you need a lot of help, comment section, you can get a hold of me. I can help you out. Just come with some money because it's going to be a hard one to solve. I truly, truly believe that you should only have to clean up your statuses if it's really, really causing you kind of a big problem. If it's costing your company money in mistakes, then delete them. Otherwise, it is so much cheaper and so much easier to just ignore it. Just don't even worry about the fact that those extra statuses are there and just ignore it, because it's going to be just such a less headache for you to ignore the problem than it is to fix it, especially if it's like maybe you want to get rid of in progress. Right? So you want to get rid of a status that is just like in 50 workflows, and it's just going to be infinitely harder. So the more workflows that use that status, the more work it's going to be. So anyways, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you drop a question, comment, concern, help, whatever you need in the comment section below. I do read every message. I'm just a little slow getting back to them, but I do read every single one. So that's it for this video. Make sure you share this video with your Jira admins, with anybody who's ever had this kind of a problem or situation. And most importantly, share this video with everybody you know, just for the simple fact that they can get access to over 350 different Jira related videos. So that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now.